Shut it down. Shut it down, say the Democrats who say we should never shut down the government for any reason. What is this? You know, it's got to be great. It's got to be great to be a Democrat. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me just shut it down. Let me mute myself so I don't hear myself. It's got to be great to be a Democrat and just be able to change just like the weather. Whenever, whenever an argument doesn't suit you, you can just flip-flop to the other side. It's really incredible, and that's what the Democrats are doing. After years of saying that government shutdowns were bad, after years of saying government shutdowns were awful, after years of saying shutting down the government is the least responsible thing we can do, and shutting down the government, it hurts the workers. Think of the workers. Think of all the innocent American workers who are going to suffer when the government shuts down. Now, all of a sudden, these same people, these same individuals, these same liberals are applauding and planning and doing everything they can to guarantee that the government shuts down later this week. They're voting against the continuing resolution to keep the government open for 6 months, and they're doing it with all the old arguments that the Republicans used to use against them. We'll get to all that here in just a minute. Plus, Tesla under attack. Tesla is under attack, and not like a cyber attack like we saw yesterday with X, which was, by the way, now confirmed to have been a disruption of service attack, a DOS attack, but like the biggest attack we've ever seen of the kind. It's not. I mean, it wasn't like a little attack; it was like a big old attack on Tesla. I'm sorry, on X and on Elon and on the United States of America. Because remember, this X is an American company, and whenever there's an attack on an American company, there's an attack on every single American. Whether you use X or you use that liberal blue, was it Blue Star, Blue Sky? I don't even know. Bluey is what AOC calls it, which is just such an unfortunate thing for her to do, but that's what she does. Anyway, we're gonna get to some of that here in just a minute. And Elon was interviewed yesterday about a whole bunch of stuff. So a whole bunch of really interesting stuff and important stuff. And like I said, my job is to let you know what's going on, who's attacking you, how they're attacking you, and most importantly, how you can fight back. Before we get to any of that, though, I do want to share with you a very funny clip about RFK Jr. and Sean Hannity eating at Steak and Shake. Steak and Shake, they were like the first fast food company to ditch partially hydrogenated vegetable oils or whatever, and they're now going with the beef tallow. And they're like, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to cook everything in beef. Steak, that's beef. Shake, well, I don't know about the shakes, but the fries, we're going to cook them in beef tallow too, and it's a lot healthier, and it's not going to give people as many heart attacks. So RFK Jr. and Sean Hannity rolled into a Steak and Shake, and look what happened while they were enjoying their meal.
66% of adults, 38% of teens, and we'll put this up on the screen, they have prediabetes.
I didn't order
that. He did not order that. We'll just put it looks great.
Oh, yeah, it looks amazing. Sean Hannity's like, I would totally drink this if I weren't here with RFK. I mean, it is Steak and Shake. Like, what do you expect? They're going to bring a shake and put it on your table.
Sure, one of our guys. Would anyone like a free shake? Anyone? We got to be somebody in here.
Yeah, you want a little fries with that shake? That's what Sean Hannity's asking people. It's really kind of funny. But yeah.
But I want to go back.
We can just
we got to get rid of this. He's like, this is not a prop that I can have. It's cream and ice cream and whipped cream and maraschino cherries. It's like the word maraschino cherries. They're supposedly, remember when they always told you maraschino cherries weren't food? Maraschino cherries weren't actually categorized. That was like, I don't know if that was a myth or I don't know if that's true. I have to do a fact check on that. If only I had a fact checker. There was an old wives' tale or an urban legend or something that they said maraschino cherries are so bad for you that they're not even categorized as food. And if you swallow one, it lives in your stomach for like 7 years, similar to chewing gum. I don't even know if that's, I don't think chewing gum even, I think those are all lies. I'll be honest with you, I just don't believe anything anyone says ever. And it's actually, that's a way of life that's really, I think, benefited me and done me a lot of good. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So RFK Jr. and Sean Hannity are out and they're enjoying a lovely Steak and Shake, which of course now makes me really hungry. But that's not all. Sean Hannity, he also, I don't know if you know this, but Sean Hannity is buying a Tesla to support Elon Musk. And we know that because he told our good buddy Laura Trump that yesterday on his program.
I don't believe in cancellation. I don't believe in cancel culture. You know, and I know maybe it's not going to make up a difference, but you know what? After I drove my friend's Tesla, I went and I already picked out the one I want. It's called the what is it called? The S-Plaid. And do you realize this thing, an electric vehicle, has 1,006 horsepower and goes from 0 to 62 in 2.0 seconds. And this thing rips, and you can go about 400 miles without a charge. And I don't drive enough to go further than 400 miles, so I'm good. And maybe it's just a gesture on my part, and I like that. I like new technology, but it's just a way of saying, you know, look what they're doing to this guy. Look what they're.
By the way, Laura Trump is looking at Sean Hannity when he talks about how fast his car goes the way every woman looks at a man when they talk about how fast their car goes.
And do you realize this thing, an electric vehicle, has 1,006 horsepower and goes from 0 to 62 in 2.0 seconds.
Yeah, and that's exactly the look my wife gives me when I start talking about how fast my car goes. I'm like, do you realize that this thing has 8 cylinders and 6 liters, and I got paddle shifters that can get me to 6 gear in 3.5 seconds. My wife's like, I don't even know does it have 4 wheels? Does it go when you hit the gas? Great, that's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. But Sean Hannity's like, no, it's an electric vehicle. It goes from 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds, which, by the way, I can get behind that. People always say to me, why do you need to go so fast? And I go, no. It's not that you need to go so fast. It's 60 miles an hour. That's an average speed. It's how fast can you get to that average speed? It's not like I want to go 100 miles an hour, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure Teslas can do fairly easily. It's that I want to get to 60 miles per hour as fast as humanly possible because I don't like to waste time. We got limited time on this earth. We got one life that we spend here spinning around the sun. And I don't know how many revolutions I've got left. So I want to make sure that I'm not wasting any time trying to accelerate to 60 miles per hour. So if it takes you 6 to 7 seconds to get there and it takes me 2 seconds to get there, well, then I'm already like 5 seconds ahead of you. And that's more life. That's 5 more seconds of life that I'm going to enjoy that you won't. So I'm all about it with that. But this is a thing. This is what's happening now. Elon Musk is inspiring all of these people now out there to go out and buy Teslas. The attacks and these raids and these bombings. There was another one in New York. These people were getting arrested because they were protesting outside a Tesla dealership because they can't seem to separate Elon Musk, the capitalist businessman, from Elon Musk, the government advisor.
What the? Wait, but what are they doing? What is this? Whoa, what the hell? Wait, what is this? What the hell?
What do we get a mouth on?
Wait, what are you doing to this guy?
That's the police, by the way, arresting people outside of a Tesla dealership.
My name's Frankie, and I'm getting arrested today protesting Elon Musk.
That's
He bought
Frankie.
his way into office. He bought his way into heading a government agency.
Yeah.
He bought his power at the expense of the American people, at the expense of our environment, at the expense of our world, and all of the people in it.
I mean, look, she seems mad because he's more successful than she. I don't know that he bought his way into the government at the expense of the environment. I might have to argue that one with you a little bit, Frankie. But anyway, that was Frankie. She was at the Tesla dealership. She was causing a ruckus, and the police came and they threw the cuffs on her and they were hauling her into the paddy wagon, and now she's gone. And that's great. And that's we're starting to see this resurgence of people getting manhandled by the NYPD. And there's in fact, there was another clip that I posted on my X feed, gosh, just the other day. And I'm going to try to find it. It was the police acting like police again. When there's violent protesters that are beating people up for no reason and smashing heads and being violent and destroying property, it's nice to see. There was a while there where the NYPD was, I guess, scared to react because, there was always going to be retaliation, or they might have been charged with some kind of crime, or they might have been put on, like administrative leave or some crap like, oh, here it is here. Here it is. Here, look, this is the NYPD acting like police again, thanks to Donald Trump. Chasing down the protester, tackling the protester, people screaming, oh my God, what are you doing to that violent protester? What are you doing? Oh my God. And then they throw him to the ground. And then like 20 other cops are like, oh, we want a piece of that. And then and then another cop is like, everyone else get away or we'll pepper spray you. And the crowd the crowd reacts. They boo. This is great. This is cops acting like cops again, and I'm all for it. I think that's exactly, we need more of that in this country, and that's because Donald Trump is back. Donald Trump is back in office. Donald Trump has restored law and order. Donald Trump now allows police to be police without fear of retribution or fear of retaliation or fear of any kind of indictment, because that's really what it's all about. A lot of the police were afraid that they were going to be indicted for doing their jobs, and so they stopped doing their jobs. I mean, they did their jobs, but not the way they used to do it. They used to do it with like kid gloves because they could have wrecked their entire lifestyle. Now they're out there doing things again. Anyway, back to Tesla. So these Tesla dealerships, they're starting to see all kinds of hatred and anger. We spoke yesterday about how the charging stations, and I don't understand how this harms Elon Musk. I don't understand this as a protest. Elon Musk is, Tesla is not Doge. It's two different entities. If you're mad at Doge, if you're mad at Elon, if you're mad at the government cuts and the waste, fraud, and abuse being hacked out with a chainsaw, if you're mad about that, go to Washington, D.C. Tesla has absolutely nothing to do with it. And when you burn a charging station, guess what? Those things, I'm pretty sure, are insured. And the only person you're hurting are the people that pay the insurance premiums. The only people you're hurting are the people that that pay the insurance premiums to Tesla or to the insurance companies. You're making the insurance companies richer. You're making Tesla richer because now they're building more charging stations. When you go to the Tesla dealership and you throw a Molotov cocktail on a Model X, and all of a sudden it erupts in flames. I mean, that doesn't hurt Elon at all. He'll just make another one, and the insurance will pay for it. So it is. But again, I wouldn't expect anything less. So now everybody's out there buying Teslas, and they're doing it because they want to support Elon Musk. Here's Lily Tang Williams from New Hampshire. She bought a Tesla, and she bought Tesla stock because she was furious that she couldn't get on X.
Hi, I'm inside of my brand new Tesla I bought to support Elon Musk.
Okay, by the way, Lily Tang Williams is my spirit animal. She's all of us, by the way. She's a Chinese, born in China. She's here in the United States. She ran unsuccessfully, unfortunately, for Congress in New Hampshire, but I believe she's going to run again because New Hampshire, I will do whatever I can do to help turn New Hampshire red and get more politicians like Lily Tang Williams into Congress. I will do. Anyway, here she is in her brand new Tesla.
Hi, I'm inside of my brand new Tesla I bought to support Elon Musk and Doge. Radical leftists are Marxist communists. They want to shut you down if you do not comply to them, if you're a threat to their corruption, their money, their special interest. I could not access to my X this morning, the only free speech app in the whole world right now. So I'm going to go buy some more Tesla stocks and support them whenever I can. We must win as the free people.
Live free or die. That's New Hampshire's motto, and Lily Tang Williams. Think about this. By the way, it must be nice to have this kind of money. Lily Tang Williams wakes up, she goes on X, and she can't get on X. She goes, what is going on? I can't get on the only free speech app in the world. So she goes out and buys a Tesla. She's like, oh, I'm sitting here in my brand new Tesla, which I bought because I couldn't get on X. Maybe that was Elon's plan all along. Maybe Elon Musk faked X going down. Maybe he took it offline because, Tesla stock was down yesterday. So maybe he took it offline for a little bit and blamed it on somebody else and then said, maybe people will go out and buy Teslas. And sure enough, it worked. Sean Hannity bought a Tesla. Lily Tang Williams bought a Tesla.
Hi, I'm inside of my brand new Tesla I bought to support Elon Musk and Doge.
And then I love her so much. I just do. I hope she wins when I win. I hope in 2026 when I primary Representative John Rutherford, the rhino from Florida's District 5, I hope when I win, I hope she also wins. Oh, what happened to my camera? Why is my camera locked up? Did I freeze? Oh, I froze. What's going on? Hang on. I got to fix my camera now because my camera's frozen. Let me do this number. Oh, and my camera's frozen everywhere. Awesome. Hang on one second. Let me unplug my. What am I? I don't know why my camera froze like that, but that's not even an attractive face for my camera to freeze on. Let me turn it off and let me turn it back on and see what happens. Maybe that'll fix it. Anyway, I really hope that when I win, I also hope that she wins, because I would love to serve alongside her in Congress. Let's see what happens here. Oh, that's not there. No, that's not good at all. That's not good at all. Let's try this one. Hang on, a minor technical difficulty that I'm going to fix here immediately. Oh, there we go. Look at that. I'm back. All right, so that's all part of the live, experience, is having those kinds of it doesn't matter. Anyway, what I was saying was I hope that we both get to serve together, because that would be outstanding. That's the kind of and here's the thing. Immigrants make the best Congress people, because immigrants come from other places where we are in we're in danger of becoming where the places we came from. For example, she came from a communist country where they suppress free speech and they suppress your rights. And she knows what it's like to have the government shut down your communications channels and try to control you. She knows exactly what's that like, because she comes from China. I too come from a communist country where they suppress your rights and they don't let you protect yourself, and the government is tyrannical and they shut down your bank accounts and they try to control you. That country is known as Canada. And so as immigrants from these communist countries, we really have a handle on what could potentially happen here in the United States, and we will work hard and fight hard diligently every single day to keep that from happening. So anyway, that's Lily Tang Williams. But Grant Cardone got his daughter a Tesla as well. Grant Cardone is a billionaire real estate investor. You probably saw him at a bunch of the rallies.
Guys, I'm so excited. Look, it's my very own car. It's nice and clean. It has the clean car smell. Random advice, guys, keep your cars clean. I know some people who don't have very clean cars. That's not
You want to shout them out, call them out?
No, I won't do that. But I just mean to keep your cars clean. Take care of all your spaces. I'm very excited. Don't speed, guys. Actually, don't speed. Look at my beautiful car. Oh my God, look at that beautiful baby. Give us suggestions. What should we name my beautiful, gorgeous car? I love it so much.
So there you go. So everyone's getting Teslas now. All the conservatives are getting Teslas because they're supporting Elon Musk, which is kind of weird, because the Tesla used to be the car of the liberal. Every liberal wanted a Tesla, or had a Tesla, or bought a Tesla, or was going to buy a Tesla. And now all of a sudden, nobody wants them anymore. By the way, I don't know if you know this, but there was, if you look at the Tesla models, there's the Model S, there's the Model E, there's the Model X, and then there's the Model Y. And if you put them all together, MEXY, it kind of looks like it spells sexy, which I have to imagine was not at all an accident. I have to imagine S3XY, and then of course the Cybertruck. I have to imagine that was Elon Musk's goal all along, was to spell out sexy with all of the cars that he's making. Also, this is not an advertisement for Tesla or Cybertruck, because I don't think he gets enough free publicity as it is. In fact, guess what? He just got the biggest endorsement of all, because President Donald Trump, who's also keeping track of all of this mayhem and all this ridiculousness that's going on. Look at this. Donald Trump posted on Truth Social to Republicans, conservatives, and all great Americans: Elon Musk is putting it on the line in order to help our nation, and he's doing a fantastic job. But the radical left lunatics, as they often do, are trying to illegally and collusively boycott Tesla, one of the world's great automakers, and Elon's baby, in order to attack and do harm to Elon and everything he stands for. They tried to do it to me at the 2024 presidential ballot box, but how did that work out? In any event, I'm going to buy a brand new Tesla tomorrow morning as a show of confidence and support for Elon Musk, a truly great American. Why should he be punished for putting his tremendous skill to work in order to make America great again? So, I mean, you want to talk about a ringing endorsement. You've got, so many people now are buying these Teslas in support of Elon Musk. You've got Lily Tang Williams buying a Tesla. You've got Grant Cardone buying his daughter a Tesla. Sean Hannity bought an S Plaid and was boring the pants off of Laura Trump as he was telling her all about it. And now President Donald Trump also buying a Tesla. I don't know if it's a Cybertruck or whatnot. Probably not a Cybertruck, because remember, he already got one from Aiden Ross. And I don't know if President Trump already has this Cybertruck. Maybe he's buying another one. Maybe he's going to get a fleet, or maybe he's going to buy like the X. I'm not in the market for a new car. If I were in the market for a new car, I don't know that I would settle on a Tesla, just because I'm kind of a gas guzzling SUV driving kind of guy. Like I really like to put gas. I like to rev it up. I like the smell, and the fossil fuels. I'm like a fossil fuel guy. Electricity, I just don't trust it. So I would probably stick with a gas guzzling SUV. But if I were to get a Tesla, I don't think I'd get the Cybertruck. I think I'd get the one with the doors that open up like spaceships. I think that's the X. I would want the one where the doors open up like spaceships. However, I would also want one that gets to 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds. So I don't know. I'll have to do hold on. You know what? Let me dig. How long does it take the Tesla X to go 0 to 60? We'll do a little here we go. Oh, here we go. Tesla claims a 60 mile per hour time of 3.8 seconds. So, all right, 3.8 seconds. That's not bad. Oh, wait a minute. The Plaid variant claims a 60 mile per hour time of 2.5 seconds. Oh, great. So I would need the X Plaid if I were going to get one. But like I said, I'm not really an electric vehicle kind of guy. I like the gas guzzlers. In fact, I think I might be getting I want to get one of those cars that has no electronics whatsoever, like all the real preppers do, because I feel like that's important, especially when the grid goes down. You can't have the government controlling your vehicle, and anything with a computer chip in it, the government can control. So you have to go old school and get like a 1970s, 1980s Jeep Wrangler and strip out anything electronic in it, load it up with extra gas cans, and you'll be good to go for when the apocalypse hits. Anyway, so that's what's going on with Elon Musk and Tesla and Elon. By the way, Elon Musk, he was able to figure out, by the way, where this attack came from, and he was being interviewed by Fox News yesterday, and he spilled the beans on who went after X yesterday and tried to shut it down.
There was a cyber attack on X today, which shut it down and may have been foreign sourced. Yes. It's a big story. You want to give us a moment on that?
Well, we're not sure exactly what happened, but there was a massive cyber attack to try to bring down the X system with IP addresses originating in the Ukraine area.
Look at that. IP addresses originating in the Ukraine area. What that means is Ukraine. If it's originating in the Ukraine area, it's Ukraine. Or it's somebody who has been able to use their ISP system to figure out a way to make you think they're in you. I'm sure they'll figure it all out. But look, Ukraine is supposed to be our ally. Ukraine is supposed to be on our side. Ukraine got free Starlink from Elon Musk. I mean, when the grid went down, when Russia attacked Ukraine and took out their Wi-Fi, took out their internet, they weren't able to track the Russian forces. They weren't able to see any of their satellite systems. They weren't able to get geographic mapping or any kind of geolocation tagging. None of that stuff. They weren't able to get any kind of internet-based help for their military until Elon Musk rolled in and gave them Starlink. And now, all of a sudden, they're cyber attacking and DOS attacking Elon Musk's X platform. Why? Because they're mad at President Donald Trump? Because they don't want to sign the minerals deal? But I don't understand. Because Donald Trump cut off all of their assistance? Because Donald Trump said he's not going to replace their electric grid? Because Donald Trump says, if you're not going to sign this deal for the minerals, then we're not going to have anything else to do with you. Is that why they're mad? Is that why they're now attacking Donald Trump's BFF and the Doge administrator, Elon Musk? I imagine if it is them, that's probably the reason why. And if so, look, if I were Elon Musk, I'd be like, okay, no more Starlink for you guys. Now that I know tell me how you really feel. Tell me you're not really a fan of the United States without telling me you're not really a fan of the United States. All right, speaking of not fans of the United States, we should probably get to this continuing resolution. Which I believe they're voting on. Gosh, is it today? probably today. Oh, listen, before we get to that, though, let me tell you about what's going on tomorrow night. Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, I'm hosting a masterclass called Dollars for Followers. And we did this last week, and it was amazing. And not everybody heard about it in time, or not everybody was able to register in time. So what we've done now is we've decided, okay, we'll just do it again, because it was an hour. It was only an hour, and it flew by. Actually, fun fact, it was like 2 hours, because what I did was the first thing I did is I have this masterclass where I teach you my system that I use every single day to turn my content, my social media content, into money. It's called cash flow content. And what I've done is I put together a process where if you're just starting out, or if you've been at this for a while but you can't figure it out, I'll teach you how to make $1 for every follower you have on social media. It takes an hour. After that, we do content audits, and that's the best part. What's a content audit? Well, if you have a piece of content, a YouTube video, a Rumble live stream, maybe you posted something on Instagram and it just didn't do as well as you thought it would, and you're trying to scratch your head and go, why is that? Well, don't worry. I have some experience with this kind of thing, so I'll look at your content and I'll tell you live. It's really exciting. This happens tomorrow. It's $17. So if you'd like to register your spot, it's only $17, which for an hour's worth of content is really incredible. And again, I'm laying out a system where if you have 17 followers, you can earn that back like that. There's a link in the bio, or you can go to link in the description rather, or just go to dollarsforfollowers.com. It's 8 o'clock p.m. tomorrow night, dollarsforfollowers.com. I would love to have you there and joining us and learning all kinds of great stuff. All right. So in the meantime, this continuing resolution that's popping up, it's a clean CR. This is a clean CR that the Democrats have vowed to stop. The Democrats have vowed not to support. The Democrats have vowed to shut down the government. They vowed to shut down the government instead of voting for this clean CR. And once again, a clean resolution, or this clean continuing resolution, means this, that there's no added spending. The current spending levels are frozen. There will be no new spending. The spending we have now, whatever's in the books, whatever's planned, that's it, no more. That's number one. The second part of the clean resolution is that DOGE will continue to go in and cut things here, there, and elsewhere for 6 months while they work on putting together the final budget package. And continuing resolutions typically are frowned upon, and people don't like them. And in fact, this continuing resolution is coming on the back of another continuing resolution. And there are a lot of people, especially conservatives and spending hawks, that say, no more continuing resolutions. Let's just get the budget done already. Why do we keep kicking it down the road? Well, President Donald Trump has asked the Republicans to give him 6 months so that he can really, because keep in mind, Donald Trump is working on his last term. He's got really, 2 years until the midterms, and then all hell breaks loose. And then it's probably not going to be as effective, the Congress, in the last 2 years, especially if the conservatives can't hang on to the majority. So he's like, look, you got to give me this now so I can get stuff done. And the Democrats are saying, we are not going to vote for this continuing resolution. We would rather have this whole thing, fail and the government shut down. Oh, wait, hold on. That's not what I wanted to play. Rich Hudson has called out Hakeem Jeffries and said, look, this guy is literally saying he's going to shut down the government because he doesn't like the spending package that everybody on the right almost is for.
Well, Hakeem Jeffries, the Democrat leader, came out against the bill before we published the bill. He has positioned the Democrats in Congress. Basically what they're saying is we're going to shut down the government to make sure that we can continue to waste your taxpayer dollars. We want to defend waste, fraud, and abuse so strongly that we are willing to shut down the government. It's a silly position, and the American people are with President Trump.
Think about that. He's saying we're not going to vote for this before the bill has even been presented to him. He said, I don't care what's in it. I'm not voting for it. We're going to shut it down. Hakeem Jeffries is ready to shut down the government. And it's because the Democrats don't care about you. They don't care about people. They don't care about working together with Republicans. All they care about is trying to thwart Donald Trump. All they care about is that they lost, and now they're just going to be agitators. They lost, and now they're just going to try to make things difficult for everybody. In fact, Hakeem Jeffries, I don't know if they're just delusional or if they think that this sales pitch is working or what, but listen to what he said about the Democrats and the Republicans and the current state of affairs in Washington, D.C.
We have the Republicans on the run on 3 core issues.
Okay, now I don't know. Again, I'm not really sure what he thinks on the run means, but I have a pretty good idea of what I think on the run means. And it's not what it doesn't correlate to anything that's currently going on in Washington, D.C. or anywhere else in the country. The Republicans won the White House handily. The Republicans won the Senate. The Republicans have a slim majority in the House of Representatives, and on April 1st, there's going to be a couple of special elections, and it appears that the Republicans will maintain control of the House of Representatives. On top of all that, you got the Democrats cursing up a storm, getting censured at the State of the Union address. You've got, Jasmine Crockett, the new face of the Democrat Party, who, is there a dumber person in the world? I don't know, and I have further proof to back that up. That's not just an opinion anymore. It's actually... there may be factual basis and data to back up Jasmine Crockett being the dumbest person in the entire world. We'll get to that in just a minute. But anyway, here's Hakeem Jeffries saying how the Democrats have the Republicans on the run.
They are on the run in terms of the economy. In fact, Donald Trump and Republicans are crashing the economy in real time.
Okay. Now, he says the Democrats have the Republicans on the run when it comes to the economy. All right, I see what he's saying here. Yes, that may be true. Is the economy where we want it to be? No. Is it the Republicans' fault? No, it's the Democrats' fault. So what Hakeem Jeffries and Joe Biden and whoever was running Joe Biden's White House the last few years, all of those people, what they did was they put in place a system of economic malpractice that tanked our economy, destroyed prices, made our infrastructure, ridiculously unstable. The supply chain, forget about it, is a mess. And they tied this knot that it's going to take a very long time and a lot of people and a lot of money and a lot of energy to unravel. So maybe that's what he means by the Democrats have. What he's saying is the Democrats have messed up the economy so badly that it's going to take the Republicans a very long time to fix it.
Donald Trump gave one of the most divisive speeches by a president in American history. 100 minutes. And he barely spent any time on the economy. Why? Because it's collapsing on his watch. They made promises with respect to lowering costs. Costs aren't going down. They're going up. Inflation is going up. You know what's coming down? Donald Trump's poll numbers.
Okay. I don't know what poll numbers he's looking at. I don't know where. And again, they must have a whole. The Democrats probably have like their own secret Democrat poll numbers. Like they ask 5 of their liberal relatives and they go, "Oh, we hate Donald Trump." They go, "Great, the poll numbers are coming down." And as far as costs go, look at this. This just came out today. Egg prices by the dozen. Look at this. In March of 2025 have dropped significantly, almost $2 whole. Egg prices are down to $6.08 a dozen. That's down from, I guess, $8. So it is. It's a 11.26% drop in the price of eggs. That's outstanding in 1 month, and that has to do with Donald Trump. And again, remember, the egg prices went up because Joe Biden murdered all the chickens. Joe Biden's a chicken murdering, ice cream eating, hair sniffing weirdo. And that's why all of a sudden we have, so he's saying the economy is collapsing and Donald Trump's poll numbers are falling and neither will your prices are rising. None of those things are actually true. But then again, what else would you expect from a Democrat?
Because he is mismanaging the economy and the American people are feeling it.
By the way, what is this look? What is this? I'm going to sit down in a chair with no tie and no coat, with way too much room above my head. I mean, he's on the set of Between Two Ferns. And I'm not really sure. Is it like Casual Friday when he shot this? What is going on? This is the guy they want to be the Speaker of the House if they ever win the majority again. Just keep that in mind.
And we're just at the 45-day mark. We have them on the run in terms of health care, particularly as it relates to Medicaid. House Democrats stand on the side of Medicaid and the American people. Republicans are trying to enact the largest cut to Medicaid in American history.
Also not true, and we'll get to that here. We'll get to that here in just a minute. What's happening with Medicaid is that Elon Musk and Doge are trying to cut out the waste and the fraud and the abuse. And the Democrats are using that as an excuse to try to paint it as if the Republicans are cutting Medicaid and Medicare. In fact, Mike Johnson was asked, who, I got to be honest with you, I guess it took him a while to get his sea legs, but he seems to be able to handle the press these days. He seems to be able to handle the questions that are being thrown at him. And he was asked about this. Here's what he said.
Well, Hakeem Jeffries.
Hey, that's not it. Where is it? Hold on. Mike Johnson. Here it is. Mike Johnson. Here it is.
He said very clearly that we are going to protect Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and those programs. Now, what Elon's talking about, what I've been talking about since I got into politics, is trying to make sure these programs work more efficiently and effectively, that we cut down on the fraud, waste, and abuse that has been uncovered, and we preserve the programs for people who rely upon them and are eligible to receive them. That's what we have a moral obligation to do. And I think Elon has given us a big jump start in that, because he's finding all these egregious levels of fraud, waste, and abuse that will allow us to save, bring about more efficiencies, save all that waste, and preserve the programs for the people who need it.
He said eliminate them.
He's referring, I've talked to Elon about this a lot, one-on-one in his office late at night. He's talking about eliminating the inefficiencies and the fraud, waste, and abuse. We are astounded by the things that have been uncovered. And I think the American people are as well. And the more that that's rolled out, they'll understand that. But the President of the United States has made very clear, we are not going to cut benefits for Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. We're not going to do it. We got to preserve the programs. We just got to make them work better.
Duh. I mean, we've heard this over and over and over again. We've heard Elon Musk talk, we've heard Donald Trump talk about, heard them talk about Social Security and all the people on the rolls who are like 300 years old and are taking advantage of the system.
But I think we're doing the right thing here. There's been a tremendous amount of waste and fraud in the government. When you're part of the government, you saw a lot of that, and there's been. If you look at the Inspector General reports and the Government Accountability Office, there have been many audits that have pointed out that there's a tremendous amount of waste and fraud in the government. In fact, there was a report issued by the GAO, the Government Accountability Office, last year. So during the Biden administration, which estimated the federal government fraud to be $500 billion. So just to be clear, that's not a Trump administration thing, that's a Biden administration thing. So what we're trying to do is get that number down to a much smaller figure.
That would make sense. Yeah, let's cut down the $500 billion in waste, fraud, and abuse to a smaller figure, which is exactly what he's doing. Stephen Miller also let loose on the economy, and whenever Stephen Miller, he's one of those guys, he's so intense. Whatever he's talking about is just so intense. And every time he talks, I just have to stop everything I'm doing and pay attention. And every time he's done talking, I don't know if it's like a psychic trance or that he's hypnotizing people with his cadence and his rhythm and it's not angry, but it's also not like happy. He never seems like he's thrilled about anything. And even when he is thrilled about something, he's got that edge to it. But listen to him talk about the economy and how Donald Trump has everything under control and why this slight downturn in the economy or the correction that we're starting to see, or as Donald Trump said it, look, there's going to be a little hiccup. You just got to help me get through it, because on the other end is going to be massive prosperity for the long haul. Listen to how he explains.
It's our job under President Trump's leadership to fix the economy, to stop 4 years of bleeding. Joe Biden left us with an economic nightmare of inflation and joblessness that President Trump is fixing. I don't think you appreciate, Blake, the magnitude of what President Trump is in the process of repairing. We have an unsustainable defense commitment around the world that is bleeding our defense budget dry. We have critical manufacturing and supply chains like chips and semiconductors that are housed almost entirely in foreign countries. Other countries could shut the lights off on America unless we bring these critical supply chains home. Not to mention rare earth minerals, in which we are again dependent on foreign countries for essential minerals that we need to power this nation. President Trump has inherited a country that was on the path to economic oblivion. $36 trillion in debt, unsustainable growth in government spending, and the shuttering of American energy. He is one by one fixing each and every one of these crises, not to mention, as I said earlier, the fact that illegal aliens and foreign workers are consuming all the jobs and driving up the deficit by consuming government benefits.
So let me ask you about...
That is what he is fixing, and that's why his policies are overwhelmingly popular with the American public.
I mean, he's got serious Christopher Walken vibes, doesn't he? Could you imagine him like, what was it when Christopher Walken read, what was the book? Goodnight Moon. Do you remember that? Goodnight Moon. Goodnight cow jumping over the moon. Could you see Stephen Miller reading to like a kid? And good night to the old woman whispering hush. It's just got that intense. But it makes me feel better that there's actually people in charge that know, that they know exactly what they're doing. That there's actually people in charge who understand the problems that we have. That there's actually people in charge who are dealing with this. And that we're going to make sure that this kind of thing happens and that the government doesn't shut down. Mike Johnson also put together, or I guess his team, you know, because he doesn't do it himself. His team put together a handy dandy video that shows all of the Democrats who ever said that government shutdowns were bad, linked into one like 2-minute clip.
Look, I'm in the incumbent.
That's not it. It's right. I'll get it all together here. It's right. I just had it. I had it here. Oh, here it is. It is right. Hold on. Here it is. Listen to this.
We believe in governance. We want to keep government open. A shutdown is very serious.
There are real consequences when the government shuts down. It harms our national security, it harms our economy, and it harms service members, veterans, retirees, and vulnerable communities.
We all know a shutdown is unnecessary and completely avoidable.
The tragedy here is all the civilian employees. It is the American people who are going to suffer.
Border Patrol agents will not be paid. TSA agents will not be paid. Small businesses will be hurt.
Not only is it irresponsible and purposely misleading, it is dangerous precedent to be threatening a shutdown.
I'm worried about our air controllers, those in the military. We have over almost 40,000 in the military, as well as personnel who work in the military, and they won't have checks. I mean, this is real.
The real people's lives at stake.
It is not normal to hold 800,000 workers' paychecks hostage. It is not normal to shut down the government when we don't get what we want.
Our troops deserve better. Our children deserve better. And the American people deserve better.
These chaos agents, they don't have a plan B. They just want to see everything burn.
Shutdown is an extremist policy designed to appeal to an extremist base and hold the whole country hostage.
So if this shutdown, you know who's going to feel the pain? You know who it hurts? You.
Now the Democrats, because of President Donald Trump, they're all set. They're all set to shut down the government. By the way, I love the ominous music. Hopefully it's copyright free. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to clip this out of the final video. So if you're watching this at a later date and you didn't see any of that, just know you had AOC, you had Nancy Pelosi, you had what's his name? The guy that slept with the Chinese spy. You know, what's his name? I always forget his name. You've got all the right, Eric, that guy. You've got all these people. Jerry Nadler. All the prominent Democrats who are Ayanna Pressley, they're all saying government shutdowns are bad, an extremist philosophy. You've got look at AOC said it's not cool to hold 800,000 government employees' checks hostage. By the way, it's not 800,000 anymore. It's way less because Elon Musk doged a whole bunch of them. But she said this is not what we do. This is not what we do. It's irresponsible. And we've got all of this on tape. So if the Democrats fight for a government shutdown, if they don't vote for the CR, if they allow the former CR to expire without any movement on their part, then guess what? They are now not only hypocrites, but they're the ones who are irresponsible and extremists, burning down the government without a plan B. That's what they are. Although I'm pretty sure every Democrat has plan B somewhere in their medicine chest. I think they hand it out at the Democrat National Convention as well as the concerts. But look, there's one hiccup, right? There's one hiccup. There's always one hiccup. And for the Republicans, that hiccup is Thomas Massie. Because Thomas Massie has already said, he stated yesterday, he's a hard no on the CR. And with the very, very, very slim majority, with the very, very, very slim majority out there, there's not going to be an opportunity for the Republicans to lose even a single vote. Okay. Not even. Not even one vote can be lost. So what Thomas Massie's doing is he's the first one to claim his stake. He knows he can be no. He knows he can go back to the folks in Kentucky and say, I voted no. It was the rest of them who voted yes for this CR. I voted no, but it's the rest of them who said, hey, we're all for this continuing resolution. So he's already done it. He came out early, and now anybody else who votes no is going to tank this resolution and shut down the government. It puts everybody in a very precarious position. Donald Trump, not a fan of this policy. And, Donald Trump has had run-ins with some Republicans before. There have been Republican holdouts on various different budget initiatives and votes that Donald Trump asked to pass. And of course they didn't, because some of these fiscal hawks and some of these spending hawks said, I'm going to make a stand on this particular issue. And Donald Trump does not want that happening again. He wants this. The reason we are voting on a continuing resolution once again on March 14th, when the government shuts down, is because we did it back in November and December. And Donald Trump is like, look, this is a problem. We've got to shut it down. So he's making an example of Thomas Massie, and he's firing a shot across Massie's bow, not necessarily at Thomas Massie, but I imagine at all of the other Republicans in Congress. He wrote on Truth Social, "Thank you to the House Freedom Caucus for just delivering a big blow to the radical left Democrats and their desire to raise taxes and shut our country down. They hate America and all it stands for. That's why they allowed millions of criminals to invade our nation. Sometimes it takes great courage to do the right thing. Congressman Thomas Massie of beautiful Kentucky is an automatic no vote on just about everything, despite the fact that he has always voted for continuing resolutions in the past. He should be primaried, and I will lead the charge against him. He's just another grandstander who's too much trouble and not worth the fight. He reminds me of Liz Cheney before her historic record-breaking loss. The people of Kentucky won't stand for it. Just watch. Do I have any takers?" So anyway, thank you again to the House Freedom Caucus for your very important vote. We need to buy some time in order to make America great again, greater than ever before. Unite and win. So Donald Trump is not just trolling Thomas Massie and not just threatening any other Republican with a primary challenge should they choose to go against Thomas Massie, but he's also asking if anyone wants to raise their hand. Any takers? Anyone out there want to primary Thomas Massie? Anyone in Kentucky think that they could be a better congressperson? It's not. Look, Thomas Massie is very popular in Kentucky. He's very popular in his district. He's faced primary challenges before. He always comes out on top. I don't know that, and people love Donald Trump. I don't think that they're going to kick Thomas Massie to the curb. Also, his wife died recently. And that would just be very sad if he lost his wife and his job in the same 2-year span. But Thomas Massie, he's not scared. He's done this whole thing before. He's stood up to people before. He's voted this way before. He's not going to back down for sure. And I believe that the people in his district, I forget which district it is. I believe that the people in his district are going to be supportive of him throughout. So, and Donald Trump knows that. Like, Donald Trump's not, okay, if he can primary Thomas Massie, will he? Sure, why not? But does he think that he needs to? No. What Donald Trump is doing is it's Kentucky's 4th district, by the way, which is right up there on the border by Cincinnati. It's around the Louisville area, Cincinnati. It's got it's basically, it's where bourbon's made, which I'm a big fan of. But anyway, what Donald Trump's doing in this situation is he's basically saying, look, anybody else who crosses me, I'm going to do this. So he knows Thomas Massie's a lost cause. Everybody knows which way Thomas Massie is voting. Everybody knows which way Thomas Massie is voting before the bill even comes out. And Thomas Massie makes it clear. And in a way, he's smart to do it because now no one else can come out against it. He said, look, we got one vote to lose. Boom, it's mine. The rest of y'all suckers are now gambling with your future in politics because Donald Trump's going to come after you. And that's all this is. Donald Trump is saying to everybody else out there, the Chip Roys, if you will, the Victoria Sparts, anybody else who's voted, even Tim Burchett, our good buddy from Tennessee, who I believe will probably get on board with this bill because I believe he's a part of the House Freedom Caucus. All these people, he's saying, look, we need to come together at this time, and it's going to be It's going to be really interesting. Mike Johnson was asked about Donald Trump threatening Thomas Massie. And here's what Mike Johnson said, which I've never heard before. It's an interesting line. And I don't know. I'm not saying I'm a huge fan of Mike Johnson, but I'm less of not being a fan of his than I was before, if that makes any sense.
Look, I'm in the incumbent protection program here.
I'm in the incumbent protection. Look, I'm in the incumbent protection program. Mike Johnson's job is to make sure we hold on to the Republican majority in 2026. A very difficult job. So he's not going to say anything about any incumbent, because if you start primarying incumbents, you're opening it up to a Democrat potentially taking the seat. Probably not in Kentucky's 4th district, but you never know.
Look, I'm in the incumbent protection program here. That's what I do. Speaker of the House, and you know me and my style and my, the way I do this job. I don't, I bless those who persecute me, right? So Thomas and I have had disagreements, but I consider Thomas Massie a friend. He's a thoughtful guy. I guess he'll tell you he's doing what he thinks is right on this. I just vehemently disagree with his position, but I'll leave it at that.
Okay, so there you go. Thomas Massie has a friend in Mike Johnson. You got a friend in me. Ba-da-da-da. You got a friend in me. Thomas Massie is a thoughtful guy. He believes what he's doing is right, and Mike Johnson vehemently disagrees with him. By the way, so does President Donald Trump. So it'll be an interesting battle for sure. But I don't see Thomas Massie backing down anytime soon, which means every single other Republican has to get on board. And if one of them doesn't, look, and I'm torn on this issue too. Is it grandstanding? Sure. It's grandstanding. Is grandstanding bad? Not at all. In fact, most politicians at some point in their lives, if not every single day, grandstand. I mean, they do it on the right and the left. There are Republicans who run to the camera every single time they have a problem or an issue, or they create problems or issues just so they can run and be in front of the camera. There are Republicans out there who grandstand even more than Thomas Massie. There are Democrats do it every single day. Holy cow, this Jasmine Crockett woman, look, this is the thing. When you do and say things that are against the norm or are just so crazy and wild or just flat out stupid, you're going to get attention. And, just like with social media, politics is an attention, it's an attention getting business. Whoever gets the most attention, they're going to win. Whoever gets the most attention, they're going to stay in office. Whoever gets the most attention, they're going to get the prize positions on the various different committees. They're going to get the book deals. They're going to get interviewed. If you're not interesting, think about this. You've got 435 people in Congress, not to mention 100 senators. When something goes through the House of Representatives, there's 4 major news networks. If we're still counting MSNBC. Okay, there's 3 major news networks. There's 3 networks. So let's say there's 6 or 7. Then you got your Telemundos, which if you don't speak Spanish, you're already already out of that group. Then you've got your Al Jazeera's. You've got a bunch of, the BBC, the AP, there's a bunch of people out there. But whenever there's a session or a meeting or whatever, and you come out, there's like 10 or 15 people grabbing for 435 Congress people. If you want to be one of the 10 or 15 that gets in front of the camera, you've got to be interesting. And the more you grandstand, the dumber you are, the crazier you are, the more of a fuss you make, the more attention you get. And the more attention you get, the more famous you become and the more money you make from your book deal. And if you don't believe me, just ask AOC. Because AOC, she got millions for her book deal just because she did and said stupid stuff. Well, Jasmine Crockett obviously went to the AOC school of political, angst. This woman, in addition to just cussing all the time and dancing and TikToking to Drake tunes, in addition to all that stuff, Jasmine Crockett said probably one of the dumbest things I've ever heard anybody say in her entire life on television the other day about illegal immigration. I want you to listen to what what she said here.
It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally. It's not a criminal. It's a crime. It's not a crime, which is why they're so frustrated, because they really want our local law enforcement to go out and round up people when they could be looking out for the murderers and the sexual abusers as well as the robbers. They want them to go and round people up on civil accusations.
Okay. First of all, a lot of the sexual abusers and murderers and robbers are illegal immigrants, but also It is 100% illegal to be an illegal immigrant. It's right there. I mean, listen again to what she says.
It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally.
I mean, if you do anything illegally, it's a crime. Hence the term illegal.
It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a criminal violation to enter the country illegally. 100%. That is undisputable. That is undisputable fact. You cannot enter the country illegally. You cannot park your car illegally. You cannot rob somebody illegally. You cannot murder somebody illegally. The illegal part of that is really all you need to know to, I guess you would say, put your mind at ease. Let's go. But, don't mind me. Let's go to the law itself. Let's see. Improper entry by alien. Here we go. 8 USC 1325. Improper entry by alien. It's all right here. If she wants to take a look at it, let me just bring it up here so you can, let me just read through it. Improper time or place. Any alien who enters or attempts to enter the United States at any time or place other than as designated by immigration officers, or excludes examination or inspection by immigration officers, or attempts to enter or obtains entry to the United States by a willfully false or misleading representation is committing a crime and shall be imprisoned not more than 2 years, fined under Title 18, or both. This is a law. She went to law school. I think she did. Hang on. I think she went to the University of, hold on. What's her name? Jasmine Crockett. Okay. Jasmine Crockett Law School. She went to, get this. She went to the University of Houston Law Center. OMG. Would I hate to be the University of Houston Law Center? She attended the University of Houston Law Center, graduating in 2006 with a Juris Doctor. She was a member of the National Bar Association and of the Dallas Black Criminal Bar Association. She completed law school and passed the bar examination in 2006, and she became a public defender for Bowie County, later formed a law firm which handled car accident lawsuits. She was an ambulance chaser, and took pro bono cases for Black Lives Matter activists. Jasmine Crockett went to the university, what is it called? I want to make sure I get it right. She went to the University of Houston Law Center, and she doesn't believe that it's against the law to come to the country illegally.
It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally.
Now, I'm no lawyer, but I was waitlisted by one of the finest law schools in our country, and I know that what she just said is patently false. And I don't think she's lying. I just don't think she knows any better. I don't think she's lying. I think that she's just not smart. I'll just put it. I was going to say something else, but I'm just going to say not intelligent. That would be the nicest way. That'd be the nice. But she's got, by the way, speaking of primary challenges, speaking of Thomas Massey and John Rutherford. Were we talking about John Rutherford? We should always talk about John Rutherford and how somebody should primary him. But there's a guy who's going after Jasmine Crockett. His name is Sheldon Daniels. And I don't know anything about Sheldon Daniels. I don't know if he went to law school. I don't know what his experience is. I haven't read his Wikipedia posts yet. But I'll just say this. He's not Jasmine Crockett. So how bad can he really be?
Hey, good morning, TikTok. It's Sheldon Daniels, your candidate for TX30's U.S. Representative seat 2026. Listen, I just wanted to thank all you guys for all the support. I really appreciate it. It's super humbling. And golly, man, it's exciting. I got to tell you guys that we are going to be victorious, and it's going to happen with you guys' help. So if you want to help, obviously, you can go to the website and donate. The big wigs say that I got to raise $350,000 by April 15th if I want to be taken seriously as a candidate by the big wigs and the National Committee, president, and all that type of deal. So please, please, please donate if you can. If you can't donate, give me a follow, call a friend, share my posts, or go to my website and sign up to volunteer, and you can help make phone calls for me. That's tremendously helpful right there. But bottom line, I just wanted to say thank you guys. This whole ride has been super exciting, and I can't wait to continue over the next few years. Shutdown Daniels is for you, baby. Let's go.
Okay. That's not an endorsement, by the way. I know nothing about him. I don't even know. I just know he's running against Jasmine Crockett. Sheldon Daniels is for you, baby. Let's go. I mean, to me, that makes a lot more sense than what's currently there.
It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So if you live in that district, what is it? It's district. It's somewhere in Texas. Something to look at, something to look into. There are people out there who may be better representing you than Jasmine Crockett. By the way, speaking of immigration, did you hear what they did with, you remember the immigration app that all these immigrants were coming in, they were getting on their phone and they could file for immigration and get all their paperwork done on the app and they never had to do anything. And it was one of the first things that Donald Trump shut down, along with Kristi Noem and the border czar, Tom Homan. Well, they've actually brought the app back, but they've changed it a little bit. And now they're allowing illegal immigrants to use it so that they can self-deport.
Now, of course, this is part of a wider campaign by the administration, millions of dollars being spent to essentially convey to the world that people should not come here, and if they are here illegally, that they will be targeted and deported back to their origin country. So certainly this is adding to the message by the Trump administration that they are hunkering down on their deportation pledge. Now,
well, of course they're hunkering down on their deportation pledge. And now they're saying, hey, why don't you just self-deport, save everybody a lot of time and effort and energy? Why don't you self-deport? And you know what? That way we can just get you out of here super fast. And you won't have to worry about anything. You won't have to worry about us coming after you. You won't have to worry about getting arrested or anything like that. You won't have to worry about going to Guantanamo. Just start walking south. And when you get to the border, just keep walking. I'm sure they'll let them out. I would imagine that they would let people out of the country. They wouldn't just keep them around. This is 100% Donald Trump's number one priority, and it always has been, was shutting down the border and the mass deportation, and also making sure that the bureaucrats are out of the government, and making sure that the woke folk and the deep state are rooted out of every single institution we have. And that is also a long and laborious process, but one that his entire cabinet is up for. They're up for the challenge. In fact, Kristi Noem was asked about the recent leakers that were found out and prosecuted in the Department of Homeland Security and in ICE. And she said, yeah, there's leakers. And they said, well, who are these people? Who are they? Why are these people leaking? And here's what she said.
Bureaucrats, and they don't like integrity in our government system. They want the status quo. They perhaps don't believe in support in President Trump and what he's doing to make America safe again. So that's one of the reasons that what they're doing has so clouded their judgment that they don't recognize that every single day they don't necessarily, I think, grasp the severity of what they're doing. They're putting people's lives in danger because they have a dislike for what President Trump is doing. But they like things to stay the way that they are with no accountability, and we're holding them accountable.
Yeah, and that's going to continue to happen. They're going to hold the leakers accountable. They're going to root out the deep state. They're going to make sure all of these woke folk are gone, out. Done. Destroyed. You're not going to be working in any government agency anymore. There's going to be no more deep state infiltration. And what Donald Trump says, that's going to go. By the way, speaking of woke folk, Dylan Mulvaney's back. Supposedly Dylan Mulvaney has a book, right? That's the thing. Dylan Mulvaney has a book. So Dylan Mulvaney's making the rounds. Dylan Mulvaney went on CBS and said something again. And I don't want to point out the obvious idiocy in some of these people, but there's obvious idiocy. And the things that they say directly contradict, well, the truth.
Mulvaney says she never wanted to be an activist, but has found herself navigating a society that's not always supportive of trans rights.
On his first day in office, President Trump signed the order which recognized two sexes, male and female. When you heard that pronouncement, what did you think?
It didn't change any way that I think about myself, because I'm a woman no matter what my passport says. We are not hurting anyone. We're less than 1% of the population. And the way that they speak about us so often is as if we're like taking over cities like Godzilla. We're just being our authentic selves.
We're being our authentic self, said the boy wearing a pink blouse and a wig. You're not actually being you're being your inauthentic self. That's the whole point. Dylan Mulvaney was also on The View with Whoopi Goldberg.
When you come in and you say, oh, these are men, competing against women, you're assuming that the women are weak and just can't do anything except be here. Have you seen female athletes? They know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure what's going on or why this is an issue.
So Whoopi Goldberg is on the side of the trans dudes in sports who are beating women. Whoopi Goldberg is saying, have you seen female athletes? They know what they're doing. Well, yeah, a lot of them have actually suspended competition. A lot of them have taken themselves out. A lot of them have forfeited because they know what they're doing. They're getting into the ring with a male boxer. They're getting in the pool with a male swimmer. They're going to play volleyball against a man or basketball against a man. And they know that they could be harmed, that their careers, that their lives could be altered, forever. And so they are self-deporting, if you will, themselves from these sports contests. Whoopi Goldberg's totally okay with that. Dylan Mulvaney apparently is totally okay with that. They're trying to make an issue out of something that Donald Trump has already said is no longer an issue. They're replaying the old game that lost them the election in 2024. If this is what they're running on in 2026, I say bring it on. I say bring it on. Bring it on like Kamala Harris and the nacho. I didn't even play the Kamala Harris nacho cheese. That's the thing. There's so much news every single moment of every day that I even forgot about the nacho cheese clip from Kamala Harris. This is the person that the Democrats want to run in 2026. This is who they think will deliver them the White House in 2026. Kamala Harris, who's back. She's speaking at some kind of Human X forum. I don't know what that means. Listen to what she said about the Academy Awards in one of these posts that went viral of her eating Doritos.
Whatever might be the tracking of Kamala Harris's particular fondness for nacho cheese Doritos, for the sake of getting a big bag of Doritos as I watched the Oscars. Whatever might be.
The problem is that she doesn't realize that nobody's laughing at her, or she does realize that nobody's laughing at her, and so she's doubling down. But that same laugh, that same nervous energy, that same, there's more to it, by the way. She goes on to talk, she goes from Doritos to innovation or something. It's a bizarre thing, but we definitely dodged a bullet.
So I was willing to give up whatever might be the tracking of Kamala Harris's particular fondness for nacho cheese Doritos, for the sake of getting a big bag of Doritos as I watched the Oscars.
That's the consumer behavior.
And that's right, but here's the thing. At what point do we also uplift and highlight the consumer's right to also expect, and you can debate with me if it should be a right, I think it should, to expect that the innovation would also be weighted in terms of solving their everyday problems, which are beyond my craving for Doritos, but about whatever, and I know the work is happening around, scientific discoveries, for example, to cure long-standing diseases. But I'm going to throw out another one. And you all, again, please get back to me any information you have. I would love it if there would be an investment of resources in solving the affordable housing issue in America. Like, help me with that.
I think all of this talk about consumer products and Kamala Harris's snack behavior and things that I think a lot of it would be much more convincing to people, or they might pay more attention or believe her more if instead of talking about nacho cheese Doritos, she talked about Chardonnay. Because yes, she likes nacho cheese Doritos, but if we know anything about Kamala Harris, we know that she loves her some Chardonnay or some Chablis or some Boxes Infidel. I don't know what it is, but girlfriend been drinking something. Anyway, listen, I would love to make fun of Kamala Harris all day long, but we've got an after party to get to. And then tomorrow night, please don't forget, register now. Now's the best time to go. If you go to dollarsforfollowers.com, you can still get a seat for our big masterclass tomorrow night, where I teach you how to make $1 for every follower you have. Whether you're a live streamer, whether you're posting on Instagram, it doesn't matter what your business is. Maybe you don't have a business. If you're looking for some marketing tactics, if you're looking for free advertising, if you want to figure out a way that all of these people, you see them all the time. You see them online, they post something up, and then money gets deposited in their bank accounts. You see them on time, you know they don't have jobs, and their job is to post on social media. Their job seems to be to just be omnipresent on your phone. If that's something that appeals to you, if that's something you'd like to learn, tomorrow night, 8 p.m., Eastern time, I'll be hosting the Dollars for Followers Masterclass. Make $1 for every follower you have. It's only $17. And it's worth every penny. It's actually worth way more pennies than that. But I wanted to make it affordable so you could join us. We had a ton of people last week. We've already got a bunch of people signed up for this week. Don't let the time go by. Don't let it be tomorrow night at 9 and you go, darn it, I totally forgot. That's why I'm reminding you once again, go to dollarsforfollowers.com or click the link in the description of this video. I hope to see you there. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe, set your notifications, share this podcast or broadcast or video or whatever it is, because we want you here every single day. We need you to continue to keep up the fight. We need you to stay informed and vigilant. We need you to be ready to go. We need you to be inspired and ready to pounce on any threat, on any enemy that pops up. And we need you to be able to do that as soon as they arrive. And we'll let you know who they are. But you'll only know, you'll only be prepared, you'll only be well-trained, you'll only be well-versed, you'll only be sharp and ready to fight if you know when and where. And that's my job. My job is to keep you informed. So subscribe, set your notifications, and keep coming back every single day so that you and I can share the information we need and bolster each other so that we will always be ready to save the Republic. All right. If you're a member of the Kaye Club, by the way, guess what? After party starts in 3 minutes.